Blessings, family. Happy I Matter Monday. So, on this I Matter Monday, I want to focus on the fact of how we connect with our bodies. So, on I Matter Mondays, I focus on the root chakra. So, I focus on the sense of what does it mean to feel connected, protected, and secure in your body. A lot of us, especially if you're a victim of some type of assault or some type of physical trauma, are disconnected from our physical body. We see our bodies as a source of pain. So what that leads us to is um, unhealthy ways to cope and navigate in this body. So whether it's addiction or is like these destructive cycles of self harm through sex, through food, through drugs, whatever it is that you use to escape the body because of the relationship you have with the trauma within this body. So, I personally was assaulted and sexually abused at a really young age. I was about 3 or 4, I can't remember the exact age, when I was first sexually abused. And it continued on for a large part of my childhood. So, my sense of body, and I remember the first time I was abused, I I froze, but I also disconnected. I remember it was nighttime and I was looking out this window. I was looking out this window and I just focused on the window and the light in the window, and I blocked out what was happening. And that's something that that blocking out and focusing on something else made that process a little bit bearable, right? Because at at that age, 3 or 4, I didn't understand what was happening because my abuser was someone that I trusted, but I understood that something was wrong. It didn't feel right because the body knows, right? The body knows when things don't feel right and things aren't supposed to occur. So my reaction was to put my focus on something else, and it's something that I've been continuously doing throughout my life. And I'm realizing, and while I'm aware of it, and I'm aware of the way I continuously try to run away from my body, as I get deeper into my healing and start to really understand it, I'm realizing that when I run away and I disconnect and I isolate because I don't want to feel and be in this body, it impacts me, but it also impacts the people around me to a level of fact that yes, I've considered it and I've understood it, but I think I didn't understand the true impact of it until recently, and it's been coming up. It's been coming up a lot, just the impact of my isolation and the selfishness of it. So, here we are. I I personally, like I said, right, when I was abused, that happened. I developed an eating disorder when I was about 9. And I've been struggling with that. I'm 28 now. I've been struggling with an eating disorder for about 2 decades now. Um, I don't have it fully under control. It's better. It's a lot better because I've been doing so much work on myself in the last few years that I've been able to, gain spiritual clarity around how I use food and either restricting or overindulging to cope and run away and deal with life and find pleasure in this body, because it's such a traumatic space for me to occupy, because all I understand of my body is that it brings me pain and harm. And the reality is that it's not my body that brings me pain and harm. It's the way other people have decided to relate and abuse my body. But this body doesn't bring me pain and harm. This is my vessel. This is what gives me life. This is what allows me to move and be. What has caused the pain and harm is the way other people have tried to hurt and abuse this body. And other people's narratives don't have to be my narrative. And while I can accept and acknowledge that this body has been hurt and abused, I can also accept and acknowledge that this body is beautiful. It's worthy. I am safe in it because today at 28, I have power of choice. I'm not dependent on the adults around me to protect me. I'm dependent on self. So as I reconnect with my body and I reconnect with myself and 2019 when it started, like my New Year resolution this year was to reclaim my body. And it's like, be careful what you wish for, because I didn't know where this journey was going to take me of reclaiming my body. And it's taken me through such a process of having to face the feelings or emotions in the relationship with it that I didn't realize how unhealthy and just toxic is my relationship with self and body, and that is transferring over to my relationship with other people. Just recently, two of the most important women in my life, questioned my friendship for them, and I was baffled, like, what's happening? And they were like, they really questioned if we were ever even friends, because I'm being selfish. I don't check in, I don't look for them. I've become so caught up in myself that I haven't taken time to create space for them in my life. And I was like, wow, I'm being selfish. But then I'm like, what is the root? I had to sit with that. And sometimes when people tell us about ourselves, it's so hard for us to sit with that, and we want to say, no, it's not me, it's you. And sometimes we have to listen to how people are experiencing us to be able to understand how we're showing up and how we need to shift. And not everyone's experience is valid of you. Like, right? Like, I've worked in white institutions where they were like trying to attack me for my brownness and for my views of liberation. Those experiences weren't valid. But if the people that love and support me and know me and hold me down in a genuine way are giving me feedback about how I'm showing up and how I'm being selfish and hurtful, then I have to take that. I have to take that, and I have to sit with that. And my boyfriend also, we've been going back and forth a lot, and there was a discussion of just how toxic I'm being and how I keep pushing him away from me physically, in a sense of isolating. And that's my thing, I isolate. So whenever I'm triggered by anything, I isolate and I push away. And it's part of my eating disorder. When you have an addiction, one of the indicators for anyone who has addiction, right? Because I have an addiction with the way I manage and control food, right? This is like it's a mental health issue, and it's a lifelong mental health issue that I consistently, daily have to be on top of. And when I'm not on top of, it starts to manifest and take over my life. But one of the things that are indicators of you're spiraling in your addiction is isolation. Because when you're in your addiction, you don't want to engage with other people because you're fearful, you're scared, you want to push away other people, you want to be by yourself so you can, one, be with your addiction, and two, you can live in this narrative of you can trust no one cares about you, and this kind of self-pity that comes with addiction. So, I'm sitting here figuring out the way this body is moving and the way the spirit is moving, and that in me isolating, we become so involved in defending and protecting ourselves, right, in this life, and protecting these bodies because we think we have to, that we isolate and we push away, and then we hurt the same people that love, guide us, and protect us. And and this is weird thing of, you can only ask for people to give you space. Sometimes, and I told my boyfriend this the other day, I'm like, there comes a point in time where if I'm being too toxic because I am not doing my work, I cannot expect you to continuously make space for me if it's to your detriment. And I think a lot of us think love is this unconditional thing, and people can love you unconditionally, but people cannot love you if you're not doing your part. And in your defense and your toxic relationship, you're hurting them and you're belittling them and you are, manipulating them or whatever it is. So we have to be clear about how we're showing up, because whatever we give other people is what we're giving ourselves. So when my friends are telling me I'm being selfish and I'm not showing up for them, I realize and acknowledge I'm being selfish and I'm not showing up for myself. And I'm running away. And I'm living in fear and anxiety because I'm living in this narrative of what it feels like to be in this body and navigate this body. And it's not something you overcome overnight. But I'm so grateful for the fact that I have people that take time to tell me about myself, because whether those people decide that they can't be around me anymore because my level of toxicity, like my level of, I can't even say that word, of my level of just how toxic I am being and how selfish, I had to respect that. But I'm grateful that they take the time to tell me where I'm falling short so that I can analyze, regroup, and do it better, you know? So it's been a process. So I say this all to say, all of us run away, and all of us have different addictions, and all of us have different relationships with your body. And there's such a sense of fear that if we feel everything in our bodies, if we accept what's going on in our bodies, that we're going to crumble and break apart. That if we sit with this, like, there's this idea that we either we're sad or we're happy, and not that there's a series of emotions that can live with us at the same time. Your emotions are chemical reactions. Your mindset oftentimes is not healthy because it's being driven by what other people have done to you and by the hurt and the pain of your inner child. And it's being driven by the fact that your brain wants to survive. And because your brain is programmed to survive, it is looking for every way to protect you. And because you've been hurt before, you are in this narrative of protection and like preserving yourself that is not necessary, because you're not being hurt in the same way, and now you're not dependent on other people. You have authority and power within self, and you have choice. So I welcome you today to meditate. Sit with your body. Don't make judgment. Don't create a narrative for what you feel. Just sit with whatever it is that's going on, whether it's anxiety, whether it's fear. Sit with it. Visualize it. What does it look like? What does it feel like? And breathe in and breathe out and exhale. There's so much power in just breathing. Don't forget to breathe. This body, this vessel is yours. And there's so much beauty and magic in it. It has the ability to heal itself. It has the ability to speak to you. You know, they say that our mind, they'll say like your mind will create all these stories, but your heart and your body always knows. That's why when you go somewhere or you're in a relationship, let's say, your mind will rationalize why you should stay, why you should not, but your body knows when that fuckboy ain't for you. You feel me? Your body knows when you're intimate with someone that shit didn't feel good, that shit wasn't right for you, but your mind will try to rationalize and put you back into weird situations because of however it wants to protect and defend itself and what we want to believe. So, with that being said, I invite you to this breath. Breathe in. Breathe out. So for your root chakra, there's each chakra has a vibrational sound that helps bring energy to it. For your root chakra, the sound is LAM, L-A-M. So I invite you to a breath. So breathe in and breathe out. LAM, LAM, LAM. And that's just a way for you to energize your root chakra in a quick way. Remember to ground yourself. Imagine roots coming from your feet and connecting to the earth. So you're connected to Mother Earth. Take time to be in nature. When you're outside, pay attention to the way it feels when you're walking, to your legs and the power of your legs. And take the time to be honest with love and with clarity about where your body is at and the tension in your body and the way your mind is creating these narratives that are manifesting and the way your energy feels. And if you're interested in learning more about energy work and how to connect and clear the physical energetic body, you can shoot me a DM. I also have a link in the bio. Book a free call, a free 30-minute session, and we could gauge what chakra is blocked. So help you start, kind of doing this work. And I can send you some resources. I have some guides for chakras and things of that nature. So definitely shoot me a DM, or you can book it directly on my link, the link in my bio. I love you. I breathe you, and I'm thankful for you.